Memphis.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis,
Okay.
the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny.
So where do black people actually originate? Let's get into it. Kyrie Irving, not too long ago, posted this on his Instagram. Now, we heard it from Elon Musk himself. Memphis is the actual capital of ancient Egypt, coming out of Elon Musk's mouth. Now, having seen that clip, do you think why would he say that? Is he saying that for no reason? I don't know. So, if we want to get into it, now, the way I know this, I was shown this on DMT. I had a breakthrough while taking ayahuasca. I had a breakthrough, and I actually traveled to inner earth in the astral plane. So this is how I know this. There is a sun. So this is flipped. There is another sun. We have a second sun. Not the one that we just saw in the sky the other day. Not that. There is a second sun called the black sun that is in the center of the earth. The earth is hollow. There are civilizations, tons of things in the center of the earth. Now, the black sun in the center of the earth emits, that is where everything comes from, right? It's a wormhole, and it is a portal to the fifth dimension. And you could think of the fifth dimension as the fourth dimension is the mental plane, or the astral plane. So everything in the third, everything trickles down from dimension. So everything in the third dimension is a consequence of a fourth dimensional thought or construct. And then it forms, like before you build a house, you make a blueprint and you map it out in your head in the astral realm, right? So it is made in the mental plane first, and then people build it, and over time it becomes a third dimensional object, right? So in the center of the sun, and this is also, the black sun is also the symbol where the swastika, the symbol of the swastika comes from the black sun. So that is what those, when you hear Aryans or neo-Nazis say the sun will rise again, they're referring to the black sun, right? Which is super funny because people with no pigment or melanin don't come from the black sun. They are biological test dummies, right? Like, white people are a result of melanated beings from the fifth dimension and Neanderthals mixing DNA. So basically, the Anunnaki came here, they took the DNA from us, right, from black people, and they mixed it with Neanderthals, and that is how these master races are made. So the black sun is a wormhole in the center of the earth. So if you flip this image around, this is in the center of the earth, and it projects energy up. That's why things grow up from the ground. Trees, things grow up from the ground because energy is coming from inside the earth. Pyramids, which are all over the world and in all different civilizations, are obelisks, which are energy harnessing technology. That is what a pyramid is, right? So that's why they said the CIA released documents that in the bottom of the pyramids in Giza, there's these spiraling structures that go thousands and thousands of miles beneath the ground. It's because those are coils that are used for harnessing energy up from the black sun to the earth. The sun that we see in the sky is a projection tech. So it takes the energy from things that come out from the ground and it projects it onto the surface. The moon is artificial as well. The moon is you could think of the moon as the Death Star. That's what I would say it is. There's technology, and this is confirmed. NASA did tests where they threw projectiles or launched projectiles at the surface of the moon and measured the resonance, meaning that when stuff hit the moon, the surface of the moon, it shook, right? Meaning, alluding to it being hollow. So there's talk of, on the dark side of the moon, there's been remote viewers who have talked about seeing, Nazis, tall Nordic whites on the dark side of the moon conducting whatever type of experiments and stuff of that nature. That is, I'm not going to say that for definite. I have never astral projected there myself. I don't know. I've never downloaded that information myself, because whenever I take like ayahuasca or DMT or even shrooms, I get downloads from the Akashic records. So I've also have seen my ancestors in spiritual planes while in these states of mind, while in the breakthrough of DMT. And so what I know, and when you experience downloads, there's like a knowing. It's like there's no question about it. It's like, okay, you know this. Like you're also information is encoded in our DNA. So what we're doing when I just leaked the word. What we're doing when discovering these things is that we're not discovering anything. We're remembering, because we are beings that come from outside of this physical realm, right? So we know everything. Like deep down in the subconscious, everyone knows everything, but we're pretending like we don't, because that's part of this game. That's why we came here, is to forget so that we could remember. It's just the cycle. So now let's look at the plane, the globe that we live in. So we live on a flat plane, and there are each planet. NASA is a lie. Space is fake. Everything is underwater. Water is the womb. Water holds information and memory as well. That's why if you blast frequencies at snowflakes, it'll change its structure and how it looks. Like if you blast a 528 hertz frequency of love, it'll be like a perfectly formed snowflake. And if you blast like distorted, perverted frequencies of hate, it will reflect in the shape of the snowflake and make it look ugly. This is proven science. You could go look that up. So water holds memory. Everything is water. There is water above us and there's water below us. So everything is encapsulated in water. We live in this is what this is in the third dimension, right? And we are in this, here, let me zoom in. So this is where we live, right? It's called Terra. Tiamat, or Tataria, right? This is Earth. Now, this is where we live in the middle here. You have our known lands. You have Asgard over here. That's where Narnia comes from. Everything also, movies, books, all this information, this fictional information, is taken from mythology, from ancient texts, and given to you in a perverted way for predictive programming reasons. But no one came up with this shit out of the top of the dome. Like, all this shit comes, all this information is sourced from somewhere, and then they might fictionalize it extra just for the sake of selling their book or movie, whatever. But this is where we live. We are inside of an ice wall. Outside the ice wall, there's more land. If you look at this, Mars is over here. I know it's hard to see. Let me zoom in. So you have Mars over here. This is where Elon Musk is shooting his rockets to. He is shooting it towards Mars because there is no escaping. That's why if you look, Mark Zuckerberg is building a multi-billion-dollar bunker as we speak in Hawaii. He bought up like acres and acres of land in Hawaii. It's known fact that he's building an underground bunker because they are trying to escape doomsday, right, or judgment. For us, for five-dimensional light beings, there's nothing to fear. Doomsday is just Earth ascending from 3D to 5D, and that's density, which is vibration. So as the collective, as the frequency of the collective consciousness raises, Earth will no longer be in third density. We're only in third density because of the collective consciousness and the vibration that we are the frequency that we're vibrating at, right? So as the collective, more people wake up and things are solar flare, light codes are being activated, we are going to shift densities from third to fifth density. And so Elon Musk, these archons, reptilians, Anunnaki, the bad Anunnaki, all these people, Zeta Greys, all these life forms that are here manipulating and controlling our matrix and enslaving humanity have to face judgment. So what they're trying to do is, that's where transhumanism comes from. They're trying to merge with technology. That's what Zeta Greys are. Zeta Greys are a former civilization of humans that have advanced technologically so far that they merge with technology and cut themselves off from source. When you cut yourself off from source, that's where you get into losing a soul. So now there are races of beings like the Zeta Greys and the reptilians that went so far from source that they have over time lost their